Welcome to Tippah County Sports. You're on the campus of Pine Grove High School with TV 19, RCTV 19, Tippah County Sports. We're here live tonight to cover the Pine Grove Lady Panthers against the South Pontotoc Lady Cougars in volleyball action. This is a very first for us to cover on TV 19. We're excited to be here. Be myself, John, on the call all night long, so bear with us. We're excited to be here, and we'll get this game underway here in just about 5 minutes. But before we get started, let me just run through a list of our sponsors. We're so grateful for our sponsors here on TV 19. Fair Ward Ford, Eaton, Babb & Smith, Tippah County Hospital, Ripley Insurance Agency, Big M Transportation, Ward Engineering, Min Pueblo, Fiesta Grill, Silly Sisters, Food Giant, Dr. Norris Howell, The People's Bank, CB&S Bank, Rebel Services LLC, the McNeil Agency, Diesel, House of Flowers, and Shop Easy. Again, we will be covering all of Tippah County sports this year, and we invite you to tune in to us. If you see these young ladies on the out and about, let them know you support them, and we're very proud of these ladies. Pine Grove, we're playing a very lengthy South Pontotoc team tonight. But Pine Grove has some length as well. You'll hear names like Lana Rowland and Avery Wilder and other names like that Pine Grove will depend on tonight to block the shots of these lengthy Cougars. I've been watching them warm up, and they do have some height, and in volleyball that's a very big thing. If you have height, you have a distinct advantage. Pine Grove comes into the night, I think, on a winning streak. They beat Jumpertown last night, I do believe, in 3 straight sets, pretty handily from what I read on Facebook and other sources. Pine Grove is, of course, 1A, and South Pontotoc, South here is 3A. So quite a ranking the ranking difference there, but in volleyball, it's all the way the ball bounces, as the old saying says, and that's so true for volleyball. Pine Grove will look to really, I think, to upset 3-5. I think 3 wins, 5 losses for South, and Pine Grove comes in tonight with a record of 2-4-1. So I don't know what caused the one, but I know they did have that one forfeit or tie, I believe. So and look for Pine Grove. They are going to see some Downsland players tonight. Pine Grove will be one of their main players, Miss Ellie Fryer, who of course, as many of you know, for basketball is hurt. So we'll see how that goes and see how these lady Panthers deal with that. They're going to start some younger players, some freshmen. Maybe, matter of fact, they even have an 8th grader on their roster. So we'll see how these Lady Panthers respond to the injury of Ellie and how they respond to the height of South. And we'll get this contest underway in about a minute, and we'll do our best to give you the information you need to know. Volleyball is an interesting sport. It's a new sport for really 1 and 2A. It's been in Tippah County for about 10 years. Ripley has played as far as your smaller schools like Walnut and Pine Grove, Faulkner. They've really come along in the past about 3 years. And Walnut, of course, if you remember, it was last year or the year before last, actually won a state championship in volleyball. So it's something it's a very competitive sport. It's a very fun sport. You'll hear words like kill, dig, sets. You'll hear words like volley. So, it's a little different terminology than what some of you may be used to. But we'll get you used to those things tonight as we go along on TV 19 Sports. Again, about 44 seconds left to go before we start. And let me go back through our sponsors just once again, because without them, folks, we could not do what we do here at TV 19. And we are very grateful for them. Again, if you go to those places of business, be sure to tell them you saw them on TV 19. Uh, you heard them on TV 19, whatever the case may be. So encourage them to know that their sponsorship is going to benefit them. Again, we have Fair Ward Ford. Go by and see Robert and them at Fair Ward Ford. They'll hook you up with a vehicle if you are in the market. Eaton Babin Smith for all your CPA needs. They are a wonderful organization. Eaton Babin Smith, Tippah County Hospital. Folks, if you have not been by and checked out the new hospital at Tippah County, I suggest you go by and see them, folks. They'll be glad to give you a tour. And we're going to zoom out here, and we're going to get this game underway. Pine Grove will be in the white. South will be in the red. And of course, then we will have, I believe, the starting lineups. I don't know for sure if they'll do that or not, but you do see Pine Grove coming out on the right side of the court, and you'll see South on the right, on the left side of your court. Again, we're excited to be here, and we'll, as the referee makes his way to the stand, they are two referees in high school volleyball. Of course, this is a varsity matchup. This is a non-conference game. Conference schedule will start, I believe, it's already started, but this is just an out-of-conference game for both teams. And it'd be a good test for Pine Grove. I really think it will be an excellent test for the Lady Panthers. And back to our sponsors, Ripley Insurance Agency, Big M Transportation, Ward Engineering, Mid Pueblo, Fiesta Grill, Silly Sisters, Food Giant, Dr. Lynn and Norris Howell, People's Bank, CBS, Rebel Services, McNeil Agency, McNeil Agency, Diesel, House of Flowers, Shop Easy, and others. And we're about to get this contest underway. South will serve to Pine Grove. Pine Grove will be on the receiving end. Looks like they have Roland and Wilder in. Also, Wilder with a set. Now, Atlanta comes up for the kill. Shot. And I believe that was a net. That was a net. South got into the net there. That caused a point for Pine Grove. Back to service, Pine Grove. She's up with a serve. Across court it comes. Set by number 25. Back across. Back to the lady for Pine Grove. Pine Grove sets again. Wilder with a shot. Nice shot. But recovered. Nice put back for South there with this little push shot. South with a serve now. She's up with a serve. Comes across court. Set by Pine Grove. Again a set. Now comes to kill for Rolling with a shot across. Dug by South. Back across and just in the line for South there. South with early 1-2 lead in the set. This is the first set of three. South with a serve. Over to Pine Grove. Pine Grove sets. They come across court. Wilder into the net. Just a little short on the shot was Wilder there. Back to South. South now getting the serve. Up with the serve comes to South. Back across the court. Over to Pine Grove. They set the ball. Lana Rowland with shot and kill for Lana Rowland. That's her first on the night. Back to service, Pine Grove. Pine Grove, young lady sets the ball. She's up to serve. It comes across court. Down to Pine Grove. Back to South. South sets it back to Pine Grove. Pine Grove up with the ball again. Back to South. South sets. They're trying to set up their defense. Back across to one of the big tall young ladies in the middle. South sets back to the rolling with a. This is a great volley here, folks. South again, and they're volleying back and forth. It's a tip shot there by Wilder back across the kill. A nice dig there by Pine Grove. Wilder again with a shot. Back to South to set their defense back across, and just a nice almost dig there by the young lady from South. A good shot and a good play by the young lady from Pine Grove. Pine Grove rotates their defense. South back to serve, up with the service. South back to Pine Grove. Pine Grove sets their offense. Just a mistake there by the young lady. I believe that's going to be your 8th grader right there that just made a simple mistake, and you'll learn from these things. So Pine Grove set to receive the serve. South again up. That's going to be tough. And then Pine Grove gets the point. Pine Grove back to serve. Pine Grove up with the serve. Looks like rolling back there to serve this time. South serve for Roland. Nice shot. Just short of just a little bit over the net. They set their offense. Pine Grove, back to the Grove, back to South across, back to Pine Grove. And shot up and killed by number 12 of Pine Grove. Again, back to serve is rolling up with the serve. Comes across court. Back across the court to South. South two there. Again, depending on their length up front. And that was another point by Pine Grove. Pine Grove coming back in this set. 5-5 is the score. Again, back to serve is rolling. She comes up with the serve. Cross court comes set up by South back to Pine Grove. Pine Grove sets. Just a little push shot by Avery Wilder, and Pine Grove. And just these young ladies, a lot of tenacity. And there you see the height of South really making a difference. Pine Grove now sets their defense back to South. Setting their defense, their offense. Nice defensive play there by Pine Grove. Back and just a miss hit there by Pine Grove. Gives South a 7-5 lead. Pine Grove receives the serve. They're setting their offense, and just another miss set there by Pine Grove. Something they'll learn with experience there. Again, volleyball, kind of a new sport to a lot of people. So, but these ladies have trained all spring long for this, so they should be in good shape. And there again, you see the height of South making a big difference there with that block. And into the net goes South for a point for Pine Grove. Well, I bet back to serve will be Avery Wilder. Wilder comes up with the ball. Up with the serve, sky serve across the net. Back to Pine Grove. Pine Grove back across. Nice set by Wilder. Back to Pine Grove. Front line. Back across, comes South. South back to Pine Grove. Pine Grove looks like they're setting up some sort of play there for us. Maybe a spike. And again, there you see let me get that young lady's name. Number 6 for South is quite a tall young lady there in the middle for South, and that is making a big difference so far in the game. Back across comes South. Set by Pine Grove. Comes across. They set the ball back across to Pine Grove, and it's a little long. This shot there for Pine Grove. 10-6. Scoring the first set. South sets to Pine Grove. Pine Grove sets back across to South. South up with the ball. And that's a long shot for South there. Up for the kill, went south, and the ball went long. So, point to Pine Grove. Up with the serve comes Pine Grove. Set by South. South sets to Pine Grove. Pine Grove. That sets back to South. South that sets back to. And a shot. Nice shot by the young lady from Pine Grove. I believe that's number 9 for Pine Grove. Shot up for Pine Grove and an ace. That's our first ace of the night for Pine Grove. This little spinning side serve by the young lady from Pine Grove. Nice serve there, and back across the serve comes. They're going to push it back to the middle, back across to the young lady from South that has really been the difference maker in the game so far. Now they substitute out the South. 17 will be the sub in. She's going to start coming in serve. She serves up to Pine Grove. Pine Grove sets it back. Now they come across court, back across the net. South sets up the play. Dug by Pine Grove, and a nice dig there. And set back across the net. Again, back across the net comes Pine Grove. Back goes South. South with a setting up a defense play. And just a big shot there by the young lady from South. And the young lady from Pine Grove just didn't get her hands in the right position. On that play, you have to get your hands under the ball to lift the ball there. So back to Pine Grove. Nice play by Pine Grove there to intercept the ball unexpectedly in the front line. So Pine Grove back to serve. They're going to come up with the serve. Just a net serve there. And that's going to give South the ball back. South going to change in players now. Number 2, winning 2 will be the sub in for South. Across comes the serve. Back to Pine Grove, and there's just a miscommunication by the Lady Panthers. .22 again, back to serve. And she aces that one. There's the second ace of the night. Sets by Pine Grove. Pine Grove up. It's a ceiling joist there. Comes back on Pine Grove side. 15-10. South leading over Pine Grove. Pine Grove back, gets the ball back in their possession now. Sets back to Pine Grove. And there's the length of South, but the length there hurts them as they do not control the ball well. Pine Grove with the point. 11-15 now. South with the lead again in the first set. Just a long serve there by Pine Grove. Serve up again by South over to Pine Grove. Avery Wilder with a shot and long. South will serve to Pine Grove to the middle, and they get the ball and out of bounds is the serve. That will be an ace again for South. South again to serve. Comes across court. Again, another ace by the young lady, number 35. So far, she's been very effective with her serves tonight. Back across it comes. Set. Back up it comes. Cross. Push serve. Push by Wilder. Back across it comes to Pine Grove. Pine Grove sets it. Looks like for the shot. Just a little bit long by rolling there. Not a bad idea as the defense had gathered up close. Pine Grove now sets it back across. Looking for the shot. Dig by South. South comes across, and that's going to be a long shot for South. And that's going to give the point to Pine Grove. (20-12). South leads. South down back control of the serve. South back serve. She sets herself up. The serve. There comes the ball across. Set to Pine Grove. Back to the water. Back with this little push cross to the net. They call for their defense. Back a little push serve. Nice dig there by the young lady from Pine Grove. Again, they set up their defense again. A nice dig. And see how they played off the rafter there. And that's something you just have to play with here in a small gym, not a tall gymnasium. So Pine Grove used to it by now. And that's nice volley here. As Pine Grove, and they're going at it, and there again, just a nice kill by the young lady from South there, number 6. Serve up by South again. Nice recovery there by the young lady from Pine Grove. They get the ball back into play. Up with the play they come. Nice little push serve. They battling at the net. Nice dig there by the young lady, but just not played well at the net. So South again with the lead, 23-12. Up with the serve. Across top of the net it comes. That is a legal serve. Back to Pine Grove. Pine Grove sets it back to South. South sets it across. Hard shot there by South. Over to Pine Grove. Pine Grove setting. A little short on the ball. And a nice little shot there by Miss number 15, Avery Wilder. Scores the point for Pine Grove. 23-13. Back goes rolling to serve again. She comes up with a serve. Just a short little serve across, but almost was an ace. Nice dig by the young lady from South. South again sets back to Pine Grove. Pine Grove sets back to South, and there was just a nice effort there by Wilder, but it's just a little long on the shot. 24-13 is your score. First set. Out to Pine Grove comes the ball. They set across to South. South sets the ball. They go up with it. And that will do it for the first set. Well, in the first set, your Pine Grove Lady Panthers fall to the South Pontotoc Lady Cougars. Like I said, folks, South is very lengthy, and that's causing problems for Pine Grove. We'll see how they answer coming back in these next two sets, and we'll see how they conquer the length of the Lady Cougars, and how they may adjust their offense, do something different for the rest of the night. While we have a minute, let me go back over our sponsors. We have Fair Ward Ford, Eaton Babbitt Smith, Tippah County Hospital, Ripley Insurance, Big M, Ward Engineering, Mem Pueblo, the Fiesta Grill, Silly Sisters, Food Giant, Dr. Norris Howell, the People's Bank, CBS Bank, Ripley Services, McNeil Agency, D's Oil, House of Flowers, and Shop Easy. And if we missed anybody, folks, we're sorry. we will do due diligence to get your name mentioned on the air as we go throughout the season. Now, don't forget, Friday night, Tiger Stadium, your Ripley Tigers kick off their season against Bahia. Ripley going to come into the year probably with a lot of confidence. They beat a highly talented, highly taunted Itawamba team. So we're back to action now here with Pine Grove. Back to serve. Comes across court. Back to South. South sets. Across back to Pine Grove. Pine Grove sets up there. Their offense back to South. South sets. Dig there by Pine Grove. Back across comes Pine Grove. Back across comes South. South back to Pine Grove. Pine Grove back to South. Comes across again. Pine Grove waiting on the ball. They're trying to set their setters. Here comes the ball back up. Let's see what the nice block by the lady. By the Lady Panthers there. And, you know, you said there's a lot of length, but, I mean, you know, it's all a lot of timing, too, is when you have to time your jumps and things like that. That takes a lot of talent, and I commend these young ladies for all the time and effort they put into this sport. South back to serve. Up with the serve comes South. Back comes across the ball, cross court. Just a short serve there by South. Here comes the substitute in for Pine Grove. But that's number 20 in for the sub. Up comes the serve from Pine Grove. Cross court. Back to set their offense. Back across comes nice dig there by the young lady from Pine Grove, and just barely out. I mean, it was very close play there. South back across the court comes with the ball. Pine Grove setting up their offense. Out is a shot for South. 3-2 early lead for Pine Grove. They seem to be adjusting well. We'll see how the game continues. Back up with a shot comes Pine Grove. Pine Grove sets their offense. Long, I believe it's going to be just long. No. It's hard to tell if this thing was a good shot by the young lady from South. Again, we are in Pine Grove, Mississippi tonight. Pine Grove High School, Pine Grove Gymnasium, covering Pine Grove Lady Volleyball. Just a miss hit there by Wilder. She knew it when she hit it, too. South with a set. Comes across court. Volleyed up by Pine Grove. Pine Grove volleys it across to Pine Grove, back to South. South back across to Pine Grove. Just a shot. This nice little. And just in the net there was. Coach from Pine Grove giving a little encouragement to his ladies. Setting up the offenses. South back to Pine Grove. Nice shot by number 12 with a kill. Just a little push kill there by young lady from Pine Grove. Wes Wilder back to serve. She comes up with a serve. Cross to South it comes. South sets up their offense. Comes across. I believe that was tipped net, but it was let go by the back line of Pine Grove. South with a set. Comes across Pine Grove. Pine Grove back across the South. South sets again, sets their offense. With a big shot of the young lady. And there's the score for South. 7-4. South is taking the lead this set. And that was just a misplay ball there by Pine Grove. Here comes the ball across. Pine Grove sets it up. It's like they're setting for a shot over on the corner, and it just falls just outside the line. Back across comes South with a serve up to Pine Grove. Pine Grove sets up their offense. And just a short set by South gives Pine Grove a point. 9-5 is your score in the second set. Score. Indicative of how Pine Grove has recovered in this set, and not a very good shot by the young lady from South there, spinning away from Roland there. Roland tried to dig it out, and just the shot just went off her hands. Shot comes across from South. South waiting on it. Here comes the set from back from Pine Grove. Back across comes the set from South. South waiting on the ball. Pine Grove sets it back across to the South team. Back across comes Pine Grove for a shot. Big hit across there was the young lady from Pine Grove. They set up their offense again. Just into the net goes Pine Grove. You have to feel for those young ladies there. Their momentum is carrying them to make a big shot, and they go into the net there. Back across the court comes Pine Grove with the ball. They volleyed it back across to South. South sets up their offense. Big shot there by the lady from South. And I'm gonna tell you, these ladies from South their height is quite impressive. And they're attacking that back line of Pine Grove. 12-5 is your score in the second set. Just across the net comes the ball. They set up their offense to Pine Grove. Back to South. South sets. Looks like they're setting up for a big kill again, and it's just a bit long. Pine Grove is ready to set the ball across with a serve. Across the set it comes. And an ace by the young lady from Pine Grove. I believe that's number 12 with an ace. Again, an ace is when the ball either touches the ground or touches the player and goes out of play. Pine Grove sets it. They set it back to Pine Grove to South. South. Pine Grove, they set up a shot and play. Back across to South. It comes with a little push serve up to Roland. Roland with a save. They push it back across and just again in the net. If you saw that there, it looks like it hit off the bottom of her hand instead of the top of her hand. So South will do some substituting. They're going to sub in number 17 again. Pine Grove sets up their defense to receive the serve, and across the top of the net it rolls. Again, that is a legal serve. Does a nice soft serve there by Lana Rowland to score the point there. Number 11 checks out of the game. Wilder checks back into the game. Ball rolls across. They get ready to serve it up. Does Pine Grove. Pine Grove sets. They get ready to serve. Here comes the serve across. Dug out by South. South sets up their defense. Nice little dig there by the lady from Pine Grove. Back across comes Roland with the ball. They set the ball back up for a play. And a nice Again, a misplay there by South. Gives Pine Grove the point. 13-9's your score. Back across comes the shot. South sets up their offense. They set the ball back across to Pine Grove. Pine Grove with a shot. Back across is Rolling. Come with a shot. They set up with another play. There comes the shot back from South. Back across to Rolling again. Looks like she's going to shoot again. And nice play there by the young lady from South. No avail. A kill by Atlanta Rolling. Just a short serve there by the young lady from Pine Grove. Looks like South set in to serve. Send in a new fresh sub. That's going to be number 22 back in the game to serve. She comes in, serves across to Pine Grove. Pine Grove sets it up. Back to South goes the ball. Up comes the set. Big swing there by the young lady from Pine Grove. Pine Grove sets it back to South. South sets it back to Pine Grove. Pine Grove sets up the play. Set over to Wilder for a play. She hits the ball just a little long. Not sure that's exactly what she intended to do there, but the setup looks like Rolling for a shot. She shoots it across. And Pine Grove with a nice long volley there. Looks like here comes two substitutes for Pine Grove. They're going to substitute in, I believe that's number 14 and number 20 again. 14 goes back serve. She up when the serve comes. Cross court. They set the ball up to South. South sets it back to South. Back to Pontotoc. Pontotoc back across to Pine Grove. Pine Grove sets it up again. Let's see what they do this time. Nice hard shot there by Rolling. They play it off the roof. Does South. They set up something here. It's like they may be setting up Water with a shot. Nice dig there by the young lady from South. And a long shot for South. And that's support for Pine Grove. 14-12 is your score. Pine Grove coming back in this set. Some nice defensive plays. They set up the ball. Nice swing there by the young lady from. Just a tough play there for the young ladies from Pine Grove. Right in the middle of 2 to 3 players there, and that was a tough play. So 15-12 score. Second set. Pine Grove sets the ball. They come back out, come back across the court, across the net. They set up. Pine Grove sets up. South sets up. Now for Pine Grove, looks like a little push shot for Rolling, and a nice little push kill from Rolling there. Rolling going to come out of the game for just a little bit. And just send in a server. Little soft serve comes across the net. They set the ball up for Pine Grove. Nice block by the young lady from Pine Grove. That's number 20 with a big block back across. Getting the point for Pine Grove. 14-15 is your score. Pine Grove slowly working their way back into this contest. And there you see now South making a few mistakes. In the first match, if you watched, they didn't make a lot of mistakes. So that's a rare miscue for South. They set up their offense. Back across with a big serve. A big long, and that's long. And that brings Pine Grove back ahead. South with substitution. So bring in number 24 again. The young lady from just a bit out. And they're going to bring Rolling back in after a brief rest. They got number 7 who did a wonderful job there. Gave Rolling some much needed rest and gave Pine Grove some much needed points. South of the score there. Up with this shot comes Pontotoc, and they misplayed it. The net does Pine Grove. 18-16 now your score. South back in the lead. Back to service South. They come across with a serve. There comes the ball across. Up with the ball comes Pine Grove. They set the ball across to Wilder. Wilder with a little push across to Pine Grove. They go up with the ball, and it looks like it could be in for South. And Pine Grove will take a short timeout. Let's go back over our sponsors right quick while we have a second. Fair Ward Ford, Eaton Babbitt Smith, Airplane Insurance Agency, Big M Transportation, Ward Engineering, Mempepo, Fiesta Grill, Silly Sisters Food Giant, Dr. Norris Howell, The People's Bank, CB&S Bank, Rebel Services, The McNeil Agency, D's Oil, House of Flowers, Shop Easy, First Franklin Financial. Again, if we mention your name, we don't mention your name, we do apologize. This is a trial run, but we're doing this as a broadcast for TV 19. Again, this is John Null on the call for TV 19. We're excited to be here. Pine Grove does misplays that one out of bounds, and an ace again for South. South up with the ball, comes across. They set it to Pine Grove. Pine Grove sets up. Play back to South. South sets up a little push shot. Nice little push shot there from the one young lady from South. And that's something, if you watch a lot of the Olympic volleyball, it's become a big shot in the Olympic volleyball games. Is just that little push kill. It's not a big swing. It's just a little tap of the ball, and they do very well with that. And there was a shot and kill by Pine Grove. So back to service, Pine Grove. It looks like Wilder back for the serve. She comes up with it. Cross comes. They set up some sort of play there. You hear them yelling 4-4-4. I'm not sure exactly what that is, but it's obviously where the ball is going on the position in the court. Up to service, Pine. It was just a little short of the serve from Pontotoc. 22-18 is your score. South in the lead. Back to service. Pine Grove. Up with the serve. Comes across. Also spinning serve. They serve it to the side court. Back across the middle court. To one of the big hitters. Again, they come across and just a little. A bit of a controversial call there. Just on the line was the shot. Next time they go to break, we'll show you what I mean by the lines. Have a court set up inside of a basketball court, and you have to play with inside of the lines of the contest, and it's something you just have to really pay attention to. Now the ball is live anytime it's not down on the court, so you can play it as it live. So you have to play it wherever it goes. So that is a little different if it goes out. I mean, even the stands, you can play it in there. So that's a little different, as long as it's being volleyed, is what they call it. And that'll bring your score to 24-20. Excuse me, 23-20. Back up comes the serve from South back across to Pine Grove back across South. Dig by young lady from she just missed it there. Does the young lady from gets it into her elbow there instead of up on top of her hand. 24-20. The score. Back to service. South comes across the Pine Grove. They played up off the roof again. Nice play there by the way from just to keep up with there. And again, there you see it's a live ball wherever it may go. If it hits the ceiling, it's still live. So that's just the way it goes. This is going to come down to looks like the last just a few plays. A nice try there by Lana Rowland. That brings into the second set. 21-25. South they had 2-0. Much better played at that time by Pine Grove. The height did not seem to bother them as much that time. They played well. They made a lot of good defensive plays. They made a lot of good digs. So, that was a much better played set against a much taller team at South is. Pine Grove had a few aces there that helped them out. Some good serving. But just South just a step ahead, and that is it may not be a compliment to, I don't know if it's, I'm not sure. I don't have a roster for South in front of me. I don't know how many seniors they have, but if they have a lot of senior leadership, that may be attributed to that senior leadership that South has. I know for Pine Grove, you have Roland that's a senior, Wilder that's a senior. I'm not sure exactly who else on the Pine Grove roster, and I do apologize for that. Scorebook Live does not have those grades listed, but the ball will start back with South again. South will about to get this third and final set underway. Referee's waiting check the rosters, make sure everything is where it needs to be. And they get ready. And points to the head umpire, and the head umpire points to the young lady in the corner, and we're off. Up with the serve comes South. South across to Pine Grove. Nice little serve. They set up Pine Grove for a big swing there. They swing on the ball. We'll push back to Pine Grove. Pine Grove back South. South sets again. Nice dig there by South. South sets again. Nice dig again by Pine Grove. They set back across to the young ladies. And just a little long. One nothing early. Score. Back across comes the serve from Pine Grove. And that was the ace by the young lady from South. If you see there how the rafters played the effect in the serve there. Back across comes the serve. They set it. Wilder sets across to another young lady sets it across to South with a big swing. Up comes the ball. Cross sets back to rolling back across to Pine Grove. They set the ball back to South with a big another swing, and they come with a kill with a block there at the net. Does Pine Grove. Back service, Pine Grove. Pine Grove up with a serve. She comes just almost long with it, but is rescued by South. It was really a benefit to Pine Grove there. South back in control of serve. Up comes the serve, cross to Pine Grove. Pine Grove sets another ace by the young lady. I think number 35 has had quite a few aces on mine. I'm thinking 4 or 5 so far. Cross comes the serve. Back to Pine Grove. They come, set from the middle. Back to sets the ball. This Pontotoc. South sets the ball back to Pine Grove. Rolling with this nice little soft shot across. Back comes the ball, sets to Pine Grove. Pine Grove sets it up for a play here. Wilder with a shot. And a nice little kill by Avery Wilder. Again, Pine Grove with some substitutes. Substitute back in number 20. And again, I believe that's number 14. 14 serves the ball. Back to Pine Grove. Pine Grove takes the play back across to South. South sets up. And blocked there at the net by Pine Grove. South again, ready to receive the serve by Pine Grove. Pine Grove sets up. Defensive blockers at the front. They set up a few players there. And there's a nice little tip there by the young lady from South. South again, back to serve. Pine Grove across the ball. The ball comes across and just not a very well played set there by Pine Grove. And there you see a shot of the server from South, back across Pine Grove. Pine Grove sets it back up, and I believe that's going to be a point for Pine Grove. Again, Roland checks out of the game for just a few minutes. Going to give her a little rest. Going to bring in a server for Pine Grove. She up and serves. Nice little serve, soft serve across the top of the net. Just to that's exactly what happened there. Miscommunication by Pine Grove. Eight to 4. Early in this last set. Score. Again. Anytime the ball hits the ground is a point. Wonder where it hits. Again, Pine Grove now sets up with an offensive play. They just touch it, and you can only touch it 3 times on each side of the court. That is a rule that they have in volleyball. You see 1, 2, and there's 3, and it has to be back across the other side of the court. A lot of times it's just 2 touches that happen. So they set for a shot, and just south of South with a kill there. Back across comes South with a serve. Up to Pine Grove. Tip, just a nice little tip drill there at the front of the net. Back across. We're running in the middle of a good volley here. Pine Grove volleying back and forth with South. South comes up a little shot and just inside the line is a shot from South. Timeout taken by Pine Grove. While we're at timeout, let us go back to our sponsors again. Again, Fair Ward Ford, Eaton, Babin Smith, Tippah County Hospital, Ripley Insurance Agency, Big M, Ward Engineering, Min Pueblo, The Fiesta Grill, Silly Sisters, Food Giant, Dr. Norris Howell, The People's Bank, CBS Bank, Rebel Services, McNeil Agency, Diesel, House of Flowers, Shop Easy, First Franklin Financial. Back to action we come now. Shot up and just a miss hit there by the young lady from South. Wilder back to serve now for Pine Grove. Pine Grove, you're looking for some points here. Nice serve by Wilder. A little deep in the backcourt. They set the ball up. And again, a nice dig there by the young lady from Pine Grove. They set up a play. A little push there by Pine Grove. Back across to just Pine Grove sets the ball. Let's watch a little action there as we. Nice block there by Pine Grove across the top of the net. Now let me show you the court here. What you have is if you see the white line on the court, that is your boundary. Of course, you see the net there. There's the head official standing there. You have official on the side. Back to Pine Grove to South, set the ball South. Pine Grove sets it back to Pine Grove, back to South, South back to sets up a play. They just come across the net with a nice little toss-up serve there. They're setting up their offense. They call for a 2, whatever that may be. A nice little play there by South. And then back comes in number 17 for number 6. 17's been a very effective server for South tonight. Let's see if she continues. Again, like I said, she has been very, very effective for South tonight on her serves. Doesn't seem like she puts a lot of spin on the ball, very flat ball, but it's effective. Up comes the set from Pine Grove. Pine Grove sets it back to South. South sets it up, setting up play. They set up a little shot across the middle. And that was a point by South there. South taking a big lead here, 15-6. Pine Grove been retiring here. Back to South does the ball come. Nice big shot. Nice dig there by the Lady Panthers. And the kill of the net by South. South again with the serve. South well control the serve right now. Back across comes the ball from Pine Grove. Pine Grove sets it across to South. South sets up their offense, and it's just a little bit long. That will give Pine Grove back to serve. Let's see if they can control the serve for an amount of time here, and that's been the story of this last set so far, is how long South has been able to control the serve. That's given South a lot of advantage in this last set. Is how given how long they control the serve. South waiting for the shot of Pine Grove and an ace by the young lady from Pine Grove. That's two shots in a row. So South kind of wailing a little bit now as the young lady from Pine Grove controls the serve very well here. Up with a shot goes the young lady from Pine Grove, and it's going to be just a little long. And that's going to give the serve back to South. Up comes the serve from South across to the side court. Does the serve come? Set up for a shot from Pine Grove. Pine Grove sets it across. Back up to just South sets against the ball. They set up some little sort of a play there. Nice little dig by the young lady from Pine Grove. And setting up just a little kill shot there from the cross court. They set up, look like rolling for a shot. Top of the net it comes, and a kill for Lana Rowland. Net serve there by the young lady from Pine Grove. (18-10) your score. South Pontotoc leads. And a very rare miscue by number 35 for South. She's been very effective on her serving tonight, and so that's a very rare mistake. Number 14 comes in the game. Again, that seems to be a combination of 14-20 when they sub in. 14 was back with a serve. This is a miss hit there by the young lady from Pine Grove. That's going to give South back the score, 19-10. Just third and last set kind of leans to an end. You see how Pine Grove may respond. Again, shot dug with no hit the court. Nice effort by the young lady from Pine Grove, but it did hit the court. 20-11. You have to get to 25 to win. So South Pontotoc very well in control of this game. And that's his point for Pine Grove. Served it deep in the corner, and that got South out of position. Back in the game is number 1 for the serve. He's rolling a slight rest. And that's a point for, what was that call? Like it landed on South side, but that was a very interesting call there. Back to South. South sets back to Pine Grove. Pine Grove sets across to South. Back to Pine Grove. Does ball come back to Pine Grove now has control. They back to South to go. Ball being volleyed around. Up to South. South sets the ball back across to Pine Grove. Pine Grove up with a play. Nice little play there. Net call there by, I believe they called that on number 1 for South. And a little ace serve there, just right across the net, at the top of that net, the ball roll. That was a nice little serve there by the young lady from Pine Grove. 15-20 now. Pine Grove making a little comeback here. And we have a short timeout. While we have a timeout, then again, let's thank our sponsors one more time. Fair Ward Ford, Eaton Babin Smith, Tippah County Hospital, Ripley Insurance Agency, Big M Transportation, Ward Engineering, Men Pueblo, Fiesta Grill, Silly Sisters, Food Giant, Dr. Norris Howell, the People's Bank, CB&S Bank, Rebel Services LLC, the McNeil Agency, Diesel, House of Flowers, Shop Easy, First Franklin Financial. Again, folks, if you go in their places of business, please tell them thank you from TV19, Mississippi Sports, TV19 Sports, Tippah County Sports. Thank you for their support. Back to the action we come. Pine Grove serves across the again, another net call there by the referee. And that was they give the ball back across to Pine Grove. Back to South. Point was credited to South there. Another ace there by the young lady from Pine Grove. South. 22-15 remains is your score. Cross comes to serve back to Pine Grove. Pine Grove sets it up. Nice little fake out there by Pine Grove. Pine Grove sets it back across. Little serve. They set it up for a swing from one of the young ladies. And another spike down for the kill from South. And that was a tough play there. Just right down the line. It was the spike there from the young lady from South. And that was a tough play for any athlete there. Back comes across and short. And there's a score by Pine Grove. 23-16 now your score. Up comes the score. Up comes the shot. That's Wilder back cover. It was. They set the ball. Pine Grove sets back across. Wilder sets it to a front line up and back across the ball. It comes back across court. It comes across net. Side court. Nice little push. And I believe they're going to call Pine Grove in the net there. Pine Grove and South in the middle of a good volley there, and it's a miss hit by the young lady from South. A very rare miss hit by the young lady from South. Six has been very effective with her hard shots tonight, and just a little miss hit there. (24-18). Is your score. Was that maybe 1 point to win the set? South back across the score. Back across the court. Comes the ball, tips up. South sets up a little play. They're going to swing it into 6. 6 goes a little deep in the court with it. And that's going to bring it into the contest, 25-18. I believe that's going to do it for your action for Tippah County Sports. And all of our sponsors. Let me go back over our sponsors one more time before we leave for tonight. Again, we want to thank Fair Ward Ford, Eaton Data Smith, Tippah County Hospital, the Ripley Insurance Agency, Big M Transportation, Board Engineer, Mid Pueblo, Fiesta Grill, Silly Sisters, Food Giant, Dr. Norris Howell, the People's Bank, CB&S Bank, Ripley Services, the McNeil Agency, Diesel, House of Flowers, Shop Easy, First Franklin Financial. Again, for TV19 Sports, this is John Knoll for Pine Grove Sports. It's been a rough night for Pine Grove as they fall 3-0 to a very talented South Pontotoc team. Signing off from Pine Grove High School, TV19 Sports.